Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I'll fight for
Damn
you.
right.
Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky.
I want that forever love for the moment, and all your pain to be broken. See, when I look in that smile, all your beauty is spoken. I love the vibes that you carry. I see the spark of your motion, and when I see that you're down, I put the waves of your ocean. I'll be the first to admit, I know I have a lot of flaws, but nothing you couldn't fix. You're gorgeous, from your mind to your heart, straight to your hips. I want that never-ending ride, so baby, get with the script. We're on a different route, show me what you're all about. Tears coming from your heart, shorty, I can cause a drought. See, I ain't with that shit they say, and I can prove it with my mouth. And lately you've been stuck in stress, but baby, I'ma pull you out without a doubt. So give me everything, and I promise I'll put your home in the tropics. And maybe one day we'll marry, there ain't a soul that can top you. And if you fall, then I got you, just know I'm there when you drop it. To change your world and your optics, to change your world and your optics.
I go to war, I'll fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I'll fight for you.
What's up, fellow reefers? It's time for another reef update. So I don't know if any of you noticed, but there's a few additions to the tank. To those who noticed them in the intro, you already know what they are, but we'll go over them and take a closer look in a few. But before we do that, just got a little update for you. Good and bad. The good is the tank is doing real well. The algae on the rocks is getting cleared up slowly by the cleanup crew, but they're doing an excellent job with it. The bad news is I have a rusty angel in here that decided it likes the taste of my A cans, unfortunately. So I'm waiting on my fish trap to come in to catch that guy and probably set up a 40 breeder that I have laying around. I've been thinking about doing a softy tank, mostly softy tank, or maybe all full softy tank. So I'll probably throw him in the 40 breeder and let him live out his life in there. Unless he decides he wants to eat some of that, then maybe have to think about rehoming him or just turning that little 40 breeder into a fish only tank. But now that we got that out the way, let's take a look at the new additions. Alright, for those who were paying attention in the intro, you saw that we have two new clams in the tank. I haven't had clams in years, and just been avoiding them over the past some years because it seems like every one that I see around are those tiny little ones that are really iffy to keep. So I was actually at one of the better local fish stores, Blue Ribbon Koi. So definitely check them out if you're in the Northern Virginia area. Always have great stuff. And they had these beautiful clams in stock, and I couldn't help but grab them. The wife has been bugging me for a while now to get clams again, and these guys were too beautiful to pass up. As you can see, this one, it's hard to tell, but it's like a turquoise color, and it's actually pretty large. For reference, I'll put my hand there. It's probably at least 5 inches or so. The one behind it's a little bit smaller. It's more like 4.5, 5 inches compared to this one, which is like around 5 to 6 inches. But it's also a nice, pretty, healthy clam. Definitely excited to have them here, and probably will be adding more clams in the future. But since the price of clams these days is outrageously expensive, I'll stick to 2 for right now, and maybe later on invest a little more. Along with these 2 clams, I ended up getting a neon green sinulera, which is here. It's a little frag, but it'll definitely grow to be a large colony eventually. My plans for this tank really have become to just make it into a mixed reef tank. I've had full SPS tanks before, or pretty much 90% SPS tanks, and I don't really want to turn this into a full SPS tank just because I like the variety. So it'll be SPS, LPS, and some softies. It's not going to be too heavy on the softies, but in the beginning phase, I have some softy frags coming from a local Reef member, and I'm going to grab them from him probably in the next couple weeks once they heal up. They'll probably go in here until I set up the 40 breeder and move them over there, just to make that my basically dedicated softy tank. But as with everything else, plans could also possibly change, and I'll keep this as full-on mixed reef and make that other one a slightly mixed reef. Definitely not no SPSs in that other one, because I want to keep it as low maintenance as possible, since this is going to be the major maintenance machine here. Alright, so let's get to the Rusty Angel, who I love, but unfortunately is being a little devil in this tank. This little guy is awesome, and as usual, has the normal dwarf angel aggression, but he unfortunately decided that my acan colonies taste excellent. So as you can see, he's been nipping at them, so they're definitely not extended and a little stressed out. I ordered a fish catcher or fish trap to set up in here and work on trying to catch this guy. So hopefully he makes it easy on me and actually goes in to the trap in no time so I can get him out of here. And then once he's out of here, I can actually move my main display into this display, and this of course will become the main display. I shouldn't really be calling the other display a main display, but since it's smaller, but I can move everything out of, basically I can move everything out of my 65-gallon tank over there into this baby over here. Hoping to do that soon, as long as the trap comes in soon and I can catch this guy as soon as possible and get everything over and start shutting down the 65. But as you can see, everything's coming along. Of course, a lot of the rocks from the 65 are going to fill in the back end of this tank, so to figure out how I want this end to look, but we'll play around with that once I start bringing the rocks over. Definitely can't wait for it. Hopefully I can get it done in the next couple weeks. It's all dependent on catching that little Rusty Angel. Thankfully, he's not nipping on anything else. The acans are the only thing that he seems to be really developing a taste for, but that doesn't mean he's gonna start nipping at other things. So I need to get him out of there before it becomes even harder for me to catch him. As you can see, he's going after them right now in front of us. So hopefully he'll be out of there and into his new home. Anyways, that's basically all the new additions and the most current state of the tank. Hopefully in a week or so there'll be a few additional softies and possibly more corals. If any local reef members are fragging any coral frags and selling them, and I find anything that I can't pass up, I'll be definitely adding it into this tank. I'm looking to set up the NIOS reactor as well, hopefully this weekend. So keep a lookout. Hopefully soon I'll be putting that in. I got the dual reactor, so I'll be running a few, not just the carbon in there, but also something for the phosphates. I'm interested in setting that up and seeing how that works out, and hopefully everything continues to go as good as it's been going. I'm trying to take it as slow as I can and keep this from becoming a terror project. So thankfully everything has been good, and let's continue keeping it that way. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have a new update for you after this weekend when I set up the Nymus reactor. Have a good one, and thanks for watching.
I'll be your everything, your blue sky.
I'll be your everything, or everything I can. To me, you're perfect, ain't a thing that I would ever change. I love your smile, I love your shape, I love your pretty face. Everything about you was enough to go brighten my day. We met a year ago, this year has turned my life around. When I was at my lowest, man, I could've picked myself off the ground. You helped me with that, show me that I'm not alone. You know that I'm your Clyde and you're my Bonnie that cannot be broke.